Hello, sports fan, and welcome to the Packs for Breakfast. We're going to talk about the Rockies. You know why? Because I want to talk about the Rockies. Am I a bad Rockies fan? I'm a terrible Rockies fan. I'm going to tell you why. It's like I used to be a Cubs fan before we had the Rockies. 1984 is when I started watching baseball. And I was a, casual. We didn't have a team. We had the AAA Denver Bears, who became the Denver Zephyrs, who then became the New Orleans Zephyrs when we got the Colorado Rockies. So WGN and TBS were the two channels that had baseball. I watched WGN because I loved the Cubs. That's the team I was watching. The Braves were bad at the time, so I liked the Cubs. The Cubs in 84, 85, 86 were actually getting really good. They had Sandberg, Grace, Dawson, Maddox came in. I think early on they had Sutcliffe, Sean Dunston, Jerome Walton, Dwight Smith. There were a lot of really good players that played at that time. Joe Girardi, of course, was the catcher for a bit. Then, of course, became a World Series winning manager for the Yankees. But when we got the Rockies, I've always been a homer. I always have. I'm a Nuggets fan, Broncos fan, Avs fan. When we didn't have a hockey team here, it's like I rooted for the New Jersey Devils because they used to be the Colorado Rockies hockey team that was in the NHL. So I rooted for the Devils. So it was just weird that it's like a kind of root for the home team. But this iteration of the Colorado Rockies, I really dislike our owner. Dick Mumford is one of the worst owners in all of sports, and I'll just say it. I've become a bad Rockies fan because while I root for the Rockies, that is my favorite team, I want them to break the record for the most losses in a season. Not because I hate any of the players other than Chris Bryant. It's because I want Mumford to fail so miserably, and I want to hear what his excuse will be. Now, do I actually believe that we will lose enough games to break the modern day record that the White Sox set last year? No, I actually don't. I actually think this team really is better than its 12-50 record. Do I think they're good enough to get to the 70 wins that I predicted? No, they're never going to make it, because if they wanted to get to 70 wins, they would have to go 58-42 in their last 100 games. And so they're winning at a 194 clip right now. They would have to win at a 58% clip to get to that 70 win mark. It's not going to happen. You don't improve that much. I can see them winning maybe 30% of their games. I could see him winning another 30 to 35 games in their next 100. I do believe that this team can play 300 to 350 ball, which would put them at about 42 to 47 wins, which I think would keep them out of breaking the record that was set by the White Sox last year. Because I think the White Sox, I think they lost 137. Or maybe, no, 127. I can't remember exactly what they lost. I just don't think the Rockies are going to do that. I don't think they'll lose that many. I think they will get close. They'll get close to 45 to 50 is where I think they'll end up by the end of the year. Now, why would I believe that? Well, you're looking at some great Rockies right there. You're looking at some mediocre Rockies, and you're looking at a really bad Rocky. Blaylock has already had an abysmal start to a season. He started 3 times and he's already been booted back to the minors. He was part of that 21-0 shellacking that the Padres put on us. But he went back to the minors. We have had, the thing is about the Rockies, their bullpen last year was their weak point. This year, their bullpen has had some strengths. Jake Bird has pitched 35 innings and he's got a 1.53 ERA in 26 games. That is really good. Agnos has pitched 18 innings. He has a 1.5 ERA in 16 games, and he's got 4 saves. So I think he's our closer going forward, but the problem is there's not a lot of games to close, and I think he's on a bereavement. So he's out for a little bit right now, or he would have probably saved a couple of these games in Miami, who we swept. It was the first time we'd won a series all season. I think we had lost 18 straight series before we swept the Marlins, and I think 22 series going back to last season. But 18 series to start a season, I think, is an MLB record, or it ties an MLB record. We've got Vodnik, who's got a 2.92 ERA. We've got Herget, who's pitched 29.2 innings and has a 3 ERA, which is pretty good. So there is some bright spots in the bullpen, where last year there was no bright spots. The bullpen was bad. Now our starters, for the most part, has been Marquez, Freeland, and Senzatella. Dollander's gotten quite a few starts, and then we've had Palmquist, Gordon, and Blaylock. Blaylock's already been sent down. Gordon probably will get sent down if he's not already, and Palmquist is the other we're kind of leaving up here. But we don't have Feltner and Gomber. Both of them are on the IL. Feltner is throwing off the mound, and he might make a start in Double-A. And Gomber, and they're saying Feltner might not be back till late June, and it's the same with Gomber. Both of them are looking at late June before they get off the IL. Gomber is great for 5 innings. You give him 6, third time through the rotation, and he gets annihilated. But he is pretty good on the first 2 rotations. Feltner last year was a guy I was very high on. This year he's having a tough year. In the 6 starts he had, he has like a 6-something ERA, so he wasn't starting very well. And Marquez and Freeland have bad ERAs. Senzatella has been way worse than I thought he would be. So maybe coming back from that injury, he's not all the way back. But there is a part of me that would like them to break that record. And that's what makes me a bad Rockies fan, is that I am kind of rooting for them to break the loss record. I don't think they will. I think this team is too talented. But I kind of root for it. I'm kind of rooting for them to lose enough games to break the record, just to throw it in Monfort's face. But then, of course, the other part of this is the gentlemen that are out there playing on the field and giving it their all don't really deserve that fate. But somebody's got, records are made to be broken. This team is playing so poorly compared to what, like last year we had 4 guys, I think, that hit 20 home runs. I think we had like Toglia, Brenton Doyle, Tovar, and I thought we had one other guy that hit 20. And his name is escaping me. And it may have just been 3. But this year, it's like Brenton Doyle has been bad. I mean, I think he's batting like 194 right now. And I mean, Brenton Doyle last year stole like I think he was in the top 10 in steals last year. And this year, I think he hasn't been on base enough. 194 batting average and a 268 on base percentage. He's not on base enough. So he's been very disappointing. Last year, I was very high on Brenton Doyle. I thought he'd be better this year, and he has not been. Toglia's been bad this year. Tovar has been hurt. Tovar's been Tovar, but he's been hurt. Farmer started out like a ball of fire, and now his batting average is down to 232. At one point, he was batting way over 300, and then he came crashing down to earth. It's like Freeman is batting 283. He's doing pretty good. Beck at 254 is doing pretty good. Goodman is the guy that's really killing it for us right now. He's batting 281. I think he's got like 10 home runs. Here's the problem with Goodman. He can't throw out a batter to save his life. And so he is so bad at the defensive side of being a catcher. So, but he is such a good bat. It is hard to take that bat out of the lineup. So I've seen him at DH. I've seen him in other positions, but catcher is supposed to be where he mains. But the Rockies this year, look at the statistics that are last in. They're 30th in the MLB in average, on base percentage, OPS, hits allowed, batting on WHIP, and Ks per 9 inning. So they're dead last in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different categories. They are 29th in 5 other categories: in fielding percentage, earned run average, runs allowed, hits, and runs scored. So they are last or next to last in 12 different categories. 12. And some of them are the major ones. You're talking batting average, ERA, hits, runs allowed. You're talking some of the big ones. Now, home runs, I think we ranked 23rd, which really surprises me because it doesn't seem like they hit that many. But going forward, I do believe this team will get better. I think if Feltner comes back healthy, I think he'll be better than what he was. I think Gomber will be a boost to the lineup. He's a good 4 or 5 starter. I think if we just have to make him pitch 5 innings, I don't see right now, the bullpen is not our super weakness. It's our starting pitching that's been giving up most of the runs. We still got some, don't get me wrong, we still got some bad bullpen guys. But I really think this team will win 45-50. I do think they will have a good last 100 games. Not great, but I think it will be way better than their 194 winning percentage. I just do not think this team is that bad. I would agree with Dick Mumford on that. They are not this bad. Although Mumford saying that we would have the best fielding infield in all of baseball, that one has not aged very well, and it's not very old. So I want my Rockies to break the record because it's kind of fun to watch a team that's so bad. It's like a bad movie. It's like a bad movie that's so bad it's good. Well, the Rockies are so bad it's like fun to watch a little bit. But it's like the gentlemen that are out there giving it their all don't deserve to break this record. I don't think they will break this record. I think they'll rebound to a point. I think their next 3 series will be kind of tough because they face the Mets for 3 at home in Colorado. So the Mets are 39-23. Then they have the Giants here, who are 34-28. So those 6 games will be tough. But then we face the Atlanta Braves on the road, who are 27-34, who aren't playing that well. Then I think we play 4 against the Nationals, who aren't doing that good. And I think we got games against, in the next 20 or 30 games, we got games against the White Sox. The Red Sox aren't really playing that well, and I think they're in there too. So I think that if just the starting pitching can lock down. I mean, Marquez and Freeland have pitched better recently. Senzatella really needs to find something. Dollander actually had a pretty good start here recently. I just don't know if Palmquist is ready, and Gordon and Blaylock are definitely not ready. So that leads me to a very curious thing. It's like, who's going to be our all-star when the all-star break rolls around? I think at this point, Hunter Goodman at catcher will probably get the nod. I am hoping it is not boring Ryan McMahon, who is just one of the most unworthy all-stars that I've ever seen, because he's just not that good. He's very, very mediocre. And the fact that he gets to say that he was an all-star just because every team gets one, and he's the best player in a position that the NL team could find a place to fit him, because McMahon wasn't better than Doyle last year. McMahon wasn't better than Tovar. So to me, it's like, I don't understand. And maybe Tovar was our representative last year. It's like, I know McMahon represented us one year and it just made me laugh. But right now, you do see a few all-stars up there. The Rockies will get one because the MLB will say they get one, and that'll be it. There's nobody else that's going to get on that roster, just the mandatory one. And that's all-star for now.